Hello, friends. Welcome to the FBG Kentucky Derby update. We're recording this on Monday, April the 6th, 2026. I'm CC Broadus, joined by the chairman and CEO of FatBallGuyRacing.com, Dan Cronin. Hello, Dan.
How's it going, everybody? We're
Tell us
ready.
first of all, before we get into this edition of the update, what's going on in the FBG world? What can prospective buyers or handicappers do to obtain your product?
Well, right now we've got the special $99 to get the Keen. You can add the Derby for a few bucks more, and for a few bucks more than that, you can do the Triple Crown. And then what we're doing is if you buy one of those and you decide you want to stay for the rest of the year, then we'll take that off the 399. So, I mean, you can't lose. If you don't want it anymore, you're done. If you say, well, this is pretty cool, I'll take it for another 11 months, then you're good to go. And you're going to get all the way through, the end of March next year. And until the last two games, we've been killing the NCAA tournament, but the last two games we got wrong. Michigan is just, whew, they're a lot better than everybody thinks.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk about this prospective field now with the three preps on Saturday. The field is basically set in stone for the most part. Now, obviously, there'll probably be some defections in the next 3 weeks. The Lexington Stakes is on Saturday. It's probably not going to have much of an impact, if any impact, on the field. Maybe on the Preakness, I guess you could say, but not this Kentucky Derby. Let's take a look at this field now. Uh, we'll talk about this a little bit later. Who we like as far as favorite, who will go off post time favorite, and a few other questions. But one horse that is not in the body of the field is named Chief Wallaby, and he's at number 22 right now. He'll need two defections. Dan, the two horses I thought were most likely to come out would be Class President, who missed his final prep on Saturday in the Bluegrass. Todd Pletcher reported he did not like the way the horse was moving going into the Bluegrass. And Stark Contrast, who was the runner-up in the Jeff Ruby Stakes at Turfway. Horse to me looks like a turf horse. I really wish he would run in the American Turf. I think he'd be a very logical horse in that spot. That's $1 million race, but we know from history that his owners, the Ammerman Racing Stable, they want to run in the Derby. Michael McCarthy wants to go in the American Turf. I'm almost certain. Uh, Chief Wallaby sitting on the outside looking in. Your thoughts on that situation?
Yeah, I think McCarthy is pounding on them to not run in the Derby because of what happened to his turf horse last year. Endlessly, I think's the name.
2 years ago,
2 years
endlessly, yes.
ago, I mean, I begged them. They were sitting right in front of me at Bellarmine. I begged. I said, "You shouldn't be running. You should be in the turf race. You're going to ruin this horse. Horse hasn't won a race. I mean, you can ruin a horse putting them in the Kentucky Derby, especially a turf horse. That horse has a huge chance in a turf race, has no business in the Derby, has no chance in the Derby, will most likely to run 18th or 19th because the Euros are probably in the Japan horse are probably most likely to run 18, 19, and 20. But, you know, I'd be surprised if all those shippers from different continents run. I think Chief Wallaby will be in. Might be last second, but I think he'll get in. I really do. And if he doesn't get in, they can blame Junior for that decision to stay on the rail.
If he does get in, what kind of price could you expect on Chief Wallaby? I think he's got a big chance.
Probably 10-1, and he's got a monster chance. Probably 10-1 right in there. Fifth choice maybe. If none of the favorite scratch. I mean, Rapoli has the favorite all the time, and Mr. Scratch, the vet there, wants to scratch him all the time. So for people to watch Criminal Minds like me, Mr. Scratch was a villain, and the vet there is that's what we call him, Mr. Scratching horses. And he don't like Rapoli for some reason. He continues to scratch his Derby favorites. So if he is the Derby favorite with Renegade, Rapoli will be holding his breath.
Okay, let's talk about these three prep races over the weekend. First of all, let's talk about the Bluegrass Stakes. Won in a romp by Further Ado. Won by 11 lengths. Earned a 106 buyer for Brad Cox, Spendthrift Farm, son of Gunrunner. And we know after watching Gunrunner complete his racing career and all the horses that he sired, the sky, excuse me, in the words of Michael Jordan, the ceiling is the roof for this horse. Tell us about your initial thoughts on the big victory by Further Ado.
Yeah, I bet on this horse in the winter after the Kentucky Jockey Club win. I don't know if this is a legitimate buyer speed figure or not, but he did run a 98 at Keeneland before. The rag is legit, and there's three horses on paper that are faster than Renegade, and he's one of them. I think he's got a monster chance. He's a gun runner, so he'll probably be better in the Travers than he will be now. But I don't know how you leave him out if you're betting pick fours and pick fives because he's probably not going to be favored. And a lot of people are like, "Well, I wish he would be." Well, more power to you on that. All I can tell you is each year that Brad Cox becomes a more influential trainer at the top level, the Churchill Downs preps have become more important. Sovereignty won at Churchill. Now Further Ado's got to win at Churchill. Commandment's got to win at Churchill. That's important. And people that are dismissing that, you're crazy. I don't care if his buyer was only 82. Jockey Club here in November at Churchill. To me, that's a monster thing. And and he's basically running out of his own stall. But Cox is shipped from Keeneland to Churchill and back and forth. But he's at home. He's not in stranger land. So I think Further Ado's got a monster chance.
Yeah, the question I guess handicappers will have to answer is that the horse's two biggest speed figures have come at Keeneland. Everything else kind of pales in comparison. But
Yep.
you know,
And
six
who's
to
and who's going to ride?
well, that's the other thing. I mean,
Because it's not going to be Irad.
you think a
So
red goes to Renegade?
or Commandment, but I think
Commandment.
he'll probably stick with Renegade. My buddy was on the plane with him and talked to him for an hour, and I'd be shocked if he doesn't stick with Renegade. But he's got the three favorites, and he's going to leave it up to his agent. So
Right,
anybody that says, "Well, I read pick blah blah blah," you're full of it. You don't know what you're talking about. He's not picking. His
right.
agent is picking. So
And honestly, he can't go wrong any way he goes. I mean, each of those horses are good in their own ways. But
yeah.
let's go cross country to Santa Anita for the Santa Anita Park, or excuse me, the Santa Anita Derby. And I'm going to tell you what, I was surprised how much I liked the effort by So Happy there. That was a very nice effort. This horse is lightly raced. He's a son of Run Happy out of a Blame mare. Run Happy doesn't scream mile and a quarter, but the way this horse won the Santa Anita Derby and the figure that he earned, I think this guy's a sleeper on the first Saturday in May.
Well, I think Further Ado. So bear with me for 1 second. These kind of stalking speed horses have won it many times in the past, but they haven't won it since the real drug testing has started, since the whole Bob Baffert situation. Okay. What have we seen since? Dead closer, dead closer, dead closer, Mystic Dan by this far because of the greatest ride of all time, or another dead closer, and then dead closer, dead closer. So what does that tell you? What it tells me is, and again, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but when they turn for home for the last 25 years and those horses are juiced to the moon, they don't stop. They keep going. Right? Now, all of a sudden, none of the lead horses can keep going. They all stop. And all the closers come running, which happens every day in horse racing when they go too fast early. They come flying. So So Happy, Further Ado are going to be two of those horses that are going to be in the first flight. They're going to be a couple lengths off, maybe three, 4 lengths off, but they're not going to be far out of it. But So Happy's number, like you said, was very surprising to me. 100 buyer number. That puts him in the race. If you believe in numbers, now I don't have his rag yet, but if you believe in numbers, that speed figure puts him right there, and in fact puts him faster than the favorite. I mean, it just does. So he's going to have every chance. Mike Smith. I mean, he ruined Palace doing it. He killed Bodemeister doing it. I mean, I bet my lungs on Bodemeister. I wanted to strangle him. He's going to go 46. There's going to be plenty of speed in there, but he will be up front. Further Ado may take back unless Saez takes them out. Then he won't be back. But, somebody like Jose or Machado or I don't know who else the choices are. Tyler Gaffleone. They're going to be more patient riders. Then he might be 5, 6 lengths back. But So Happy he's going to be on that pace, CC. So you'll find out real quick if he can.
The downside to that victory was that Cherokee Nation, basically this back end gave out coming out of the gate, and then Robusta, one of the other uh, favorites. No, he wasn't a favorite. He was like 7-1, but he was a contender. Stumbled coming out of the gate. So if you said there were five contenders in the race, two of the five were basically eliminated coming out of the gate.
Right.
And the horse that wound up finishing third was Vitruvian Man, who was I saw him race at Ellis Park last summer. He wasn't very impressive. So you could really say that race fell apart. But the number is the number, so I'm interested to
Right.
follow So Happy going forward.
I agree. And you could say the same thing about Further Ado. I mean, the Cherie horse came out bad, didn't
Hmm.
get the lead. So, you got these 100-to-1 shots on the lead. And Further Ado just got the perfect trip because Irad's so great. He bulled his way through, got to the outside because he got slammed a little bit early too, but he bulled his way through to get in position. And he was basically running against the clock from the half-mile pole because there was nothing in there other than
Right.
Shree. And when that horse backed up, that was it. So good horses run fast numbers against the clock, and both of them did. And now we're going to find out. But if So Happy, could you argue putting him on a pick 4, pick 5? Why not?
Right. At 15-1, 20-1, he's absolutely worth it.
Yep.
Kind of reminds me, real quick, kind of reminds me of Firing Line a little bit. Firing Line ran the Sunland Park Derby, but I mean, nobody thought a lot of him. It kind of similar. If he just gets the right trip, he could be there.
Similar style. Absolutely.
Yeah. And finally, let's talk about the Wood Memorial. Although there's not a lot to say, a race that really fell apart late.
The
Uh,
Belterra Wood Memorial.
yeah, it was. I mean, the winner, Albus, has a nice. He's not. He has potential. He could be a nice horse down the line. I think maybe this is a little too soon for him, but he did show. He's a horse that could pick off horses late in the Derby.
Out of Yalpin too. Another one. I mean, Run Happies, Yalpins. What are they doing going a mile and a quarter? But they both got a Blame mare, a Bernardini mare. So I guess. But yeah, I mean, Albus is one of those that if you wanted to put fourth or fifth for the super or the what do they call it, super high five or whatever the heck Turfway's bet is now, the super eight or whatever the hell that is.
The
Um,
Octo Mom.
yeah, the octo, the whatever the hell. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, could you take Albus? I guess you could, but I wouldn't, but you could.
Okay, let's go back to this prospective field for the Derby right now. We're going to leave Chief Wallaby out for now, but obviously things can change. Let's talk about who you think, uh, outside of not knowing what the post position is going to be, and a lot of things can change in 3 weeks. Who do you think should be the favorite?
Should be or will be.
Well, the morning line favorite, and then the post time favorite.
I think the morning line favorite will be Renegade. I think the post time favorite will be Renegade. Do I think he should be? No, he reminds me of Tappet. So don't fall out of your chair, everybody. It's just, I'm a numbers guy. If you go back and look at the racing form of Tappet and how impressive he was leading up to the Derby, everybody thought, oh my God, Tappet, 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 Tappet. He's going to run a monster. But his numbers were never that good. They were never what his odds were. And he ran to his numbers. And if Renegade runs to his numbers, he can't win. He just can't. I mean, four horses got to run slower than they've run. Now, if you told me Renegade was 8-1, 10-1, I'd say, okay, I put him on my tickets. I mean, I'm not saying not to take him at all, but our eyes deceive us all the time, CC, in horse racing. When other horses are backing up and a closer comes flying by, everybody, including me, goes, whoa. But I've learned through the years to relax after those races and wait for the numbers. And when the rag came back 6 and the buyer came back 98 and the Briz, I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't that high. I think it was even lower than buyer, if I remember right. You might have that. I don't. But it's not that high. It just screams, okay, well, the good thing he does have going for him, though, is he's only got 2 starts. So I will say this. Horses only had 2 starts going into the Kentucky Derby, don't need as high of a buyer to win. So 98 is right around that 98 where they can win because they can leap forward to a 105. And if he leaps forward, which he can do off of 2 starts, and they do more often than if they have 3 starts. So that he's got going for him. He's got a Hall of Fame trainer. He's got the best rider on the planet. So all that screams to me he's going to be 4-1 favorite.
Yeah, I think in terms of a horse that you think might improve, less is more in terms of
Right.
starts leading up to the Derby. A horse with 2 starts has more room for improvement than a horse with, say, 4 starts. And
Correct. He's
yeah,
got
so
to get the trip though, and when you come from way back, the good thing is the last 5 or 6 years that's been a great thing. Um, he's got the style, he's got the rider, he's got the trainer. Can he get the trip? And do you want the favorite? That's the question. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that my dad loves him. He thinks he's Animal Kingdom all over again. I don't care about them numbers. He's better than these horses. Okay. But Animal Kingdom wasn't the favorite. That's the question. If I'm going to bet on the favorite or single like I did with Street Sense, or only take 2 of them like last year, I got to be convinced on the numbers. And I'm just not convinced. But if I go 4 or 5 deep in a pick 4, pick 5, then I'd put him on my ticket.
speaking of getting the trip, let's talk about the pace scenario for this Derby. It's not a lot of speed in here. A lot of front runners couldn't get the job done in their Derby preps. I just see one speed in here. What are your thoughts?
Well, we say that every year, and every year they go 46. So, you know, 46. But Tente, if he runs, is going to go. Polovian's going to go. That horse from the United Emirates that our buddies own,
6 speed.
Reagan and Jake, 6 speed. He's going to go. He only knows one way to go. They're going to send him. Matter of fact, we were joking on text, and I said, "Are you going to try to spend a buckum?" And he said, "Well, I love that reference, and hell yeah, that's what we're going to try to do." So they're going to go. Who knows what the Japanese horse is going to do? I mean, there'll be enough excited riders and excited horses that they're going to. I don't think it'll be a song and a prayer type thing or a Palace Malice type thing, but I think it'll be good enough that if you have a closer, you're fine. Um, I'm hoping that they could get a 47 because then further ado and Commandment have a big chance. And so Happy's got a chance to upset the apple cart, brings more horses into it because then all them stalkers have a chance. They don't get burned up too, following too close, doing what Point Given did, and then never lose another race because I needed him for the pick six that day. Let's run up to a fast pace to where you burn him up and then, the best horse doesn't win. So I think it'll be honest. I don't think it'll be blazing, but I don't think it'll be near as slow as most people are talking about.
One last horse I want to talk about that we haven't mentioned yet, and I think we certainly need to mention him, is the Puma.
Oh,
And if you like Commandment, if you like Chief Wallaby, if you like Further Ado, you have to like the Puma. He's going to come into the Derby probably with one of the fastest Ragozin numbers, one of the fastest buyer numbers, nose away from winning the Florida Derby, winner of the Tampa Bay Derby. Uh, Now he's run 4 times, didn't race as a 2 year old, maybe a knock against him. Don't know if there's a lot of improvement there, but maybe a double digit odds, a horse that's going to get overlooked from a trainer that has won the Derby already with Mage 3 years ago, Gustavo Delgado. I think the Puma is a serious contender in this year's Derby.
serious, serious contender. Um, if somebody told me we're going to give you $5,000 and you have to bet at the show, I would bet it on the Puma. I wouldn't bet it on Renegade because he's a favorite. If you had a show parlay, I'd bet it on the Puma because you have a chance to get $7 or $8 to show. And I think this horse can win the race. Uh, I think he's got a 5.75 rag, if I remember right. It's sub 6. I know that. It's better than Renegades. It's better than Commandments. So I think he moved a little early in the Florida Derby. Um, they didn't need the points either, which I thought was odd that he moved early like that. But that's JJ. I don't know if you guys remember, but years ago I used to call JJ premature JJ. That was his nickname, and I got yelled at for it, so I stopped. Um, but he loves to move early. He did it with Bernardini in the Breeders' Cup Classic and got him beat. He's going to make a Bernardini type move at some point in the Kentucky Derby. That has been a very good move over the years. Mage, he rode Mage. He made that early move. If you remember, he was in front by the eighth pole. I mean, he swooped them and was in front of Renegade, barring some getting stopped or something like that. He's going to be in front of Renegade. He's probably going to be in front of Commandment. He's going to make that move early because JJ loves to make that move on the turn. And this horse is going to explode, and you're going to hear Travis and whoever else is calling for NBC, that the Puma's swooping them, and he's going to be flying. And at 15-1 or 12-1, maybe 10-1, I'm going to be really tempted to put this horse on top. I really am. He will be in every pick five, every pick four. If Renegade beats him like he did 3 back, okay, big deal. Your 4-1 shot, beat my 12-1 shot. I could deal with it, but I'll have the exacta too. And so anybody out there, please don't leave the Puma out. I'm begging you not to. This horse screams eighth pole in front with 2 closers trying to get him. He's got a monster chance.
Okay, now with all that said, it's only April the 6th, and the Derby is on, I think, on May the 2nd. So we got a lot of time, a lot of development still to be done, a lot of workouts still to come. We have not even scratched the surface. Hopefully, in the coming weeks, we'll talk about some of these Japanese horses. I think there's one Japanese horse that might be worth our time investigating. And yeah, so just stay tuned in the coming weeks, and we'll have a lot more. One more time, you want to talk about fatballguyracing.com before we sign off?
Yeah, fatballguyracing.com. We've been around 13 years and we're not going anywhere. We're only growing. You'll see us at Horseshoe Indy with the $1 pick four here coming up. We're excited to do that on Tuesdays and to promote their product. They got a really good product that's getting better and better And they got good people in charge, so we're going to be a part of that. And we got racing all over the country. We're here 7 days a week now, CC. We expand to some of these smaller tracks, and hopefully the we just keep going up.
Okay, that's all for now. He's Dan Cronin. I'm CC Broadus, and we'll see you next time on the FBG Kentucky Derby update.